Assalamualaikum and welcome to our suit reviews. Today I'm going to show you a stitched up Mina Hassan, which was actually previously a ruined suit, which I've managed to do slight few changes, and I tell you the suit looks completely different to prior to trimming this into and cutting it into shape. You know, sometimes we buy these suits online and we see them on models and they are so pretty and so perfect, and then when we actually get the suit stitched, especially if we're a size big and you know, it looks nothing at all like what it was in the picture, it can be quite a upsetting experience, and sometimes we get put off. Now we have to look at a lot of things. One of the things that we have to look at is the tailoring itself and how well it's been stitched. Now this suit by Mina Hassan, they were replicas that were sent, and I actually requested to have this stitched from India. Now the tailors who stitched this made a couple of mistakes which are quite common to Indian tailors. One, they narrowed the trouser down to such an extent that they sort of made the bottoms too tight, and they made it like a version of a churidar and a trouser in mixed together. Now they've belted and you know, zipped the trouser, which they've done a brilliant job on, but I don't always advise because we wear our trousers with kameez, and it's not full length trouser where you wear it with a t-shirt. Personally, I feel that 3/4 belting and elasticating do away with the zip and the tie hook and eye, because it's just annoying and it doesn't make it comfortable. And if a garment is not comfortable, then it's, you know, chances are that you're not going to get the wear out of it. So basically this came sewn from India, but I did a slight bit of variation. I opened it up from the bottom and then I returned this, and that way it slightly opened it up and it gave it a neater finishing, gave it a more professional finish, which actually now looks like a nicely tailored trouser. Overall cutting, they did quite a good job, but then, you know, sadly they go along and make some mistakes. With the dress, they made it way too long, and sometimes you get, you know, when you buy these suits and there's a lot of embroidery and there's a lot of detailing and you don't want to waste anything and you want to incorporate this. That's my mum talking. When I cut clothes and she's watching me, she'll say, "Oh, you're chopping too much into it. Why are you cutting it too much? Look, it's beautiful embroidery. Why are you wasting it away?" Try and do it in the absence of your mum. I'll tell you, the oldies can be a nuisance when it comes to if they're watching you. So some of their advice is gold. I can appreciate and understand that, but sometimes they can really stop you from even doing the basic. I remember my grandmother, she used to say, "You're going to have to give recompense for wasting all this fabric, for cutting into it, you're wasting it away." So they'll have you use every single bit of the fabric, even if it's a tent on you. That's the oldies for you. MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, bless them. May Allah bless them and keep them as guards over us. Anyway, you're seeing me constantly pick on the threads because in order to fix this dress, what I had to do was I had to take the bottom trim away. I took one portion of this flower that was secondary to this away, and I've used that as detailing at the back, because the back of the dresses, they're actually fairly flimsy and they normally come in chiffon, which doesn't have you know. Now I did pull on this and I just tore away all the old seaming, so there's plenty of threads which I often don't get time to pick up, you know, pick up all the threads off it. So when you see me, I'm constantly picking off all the threads because I've sort of just dug into it. Now recently I had a request from one online viewer, and these are quite common requests that I often get from quite a few people, that she's had clothes stitched from the Maria B originals, stitched from Pakistan, and the kameez is tight about 3 inches. Generally, when these clothes are sewn, they have a fair bit of fabric inside. So if you look on this, even though I've actually cut into this, there is still about at least an inch of fabric inside this. Now, if my dress was too tight, what I would do is I would take away all of this, open up the seams, press them and see just how much of a fabric is inside. Then I would try and cut that a little bit to shape and add an exact equal width of fabric that's been cut in. Maybe if I can find the matching, that's fine. If not, I would use red or green or one of the colors that's in the embroidery or the color of the dress, and strip it all the way going up so that it looks like a detailing. Now, just to bear in mind that when you're doing that, try and keep it so that all that seaming. So you imagine, I'm going to do like this as a guidance as well, so that at least it's beneficial for someone. Try and get a marker and that way. Okay, so you imagine that that's the armhole and that's the dress. So you've opened your dress up. You've opened your dress up and that's basically what is actually looking like. And your sort of short is too tight around here. So what you want to do is you want to create an even fabric line going all the way up. So if it means that your dress is okay over here, then what you need to do is you need to slightly trim that down. And if it's slightly, you know, if you don't want it too much extending there as well, trim that down as well. But it's tight on the hips, leave the hip area as it is. And then add a piece that is like a more of a detailing all the way up. So you imagine that if your dress is white and you've put a black strip in all the way. So the thing to focus on something like this though is that then keep this equal all the way through so that it's same width going both sides. So it's like a bolder detailing on the shape of your waist, hips, inner bust area. And that's really one thing that I could recommend, that if your kameez is tight. And remember, a lot of the time, if there's an inch of fabric inside, chances are that if you add an extension, most of that extension will be wasted away in the secondary seaming. You just want the seaming to hold on to the original dress. You know, the excess piece that you've added, you want to seam on that secondary so that you've got the allowances there. So the reason why you're adding the piece is not for the extension, but to do the seaming on, so that, you know, your outer line of your dress is, you know, has something to seam over. So like you imagine that you've added an extension there, and then when you've seamed it back up, your extended line is just basically on the sewing. So that's a recommendation that I would make on any items.
You've already sewn that. That was from last year or something.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't from last year. Well, it come, but I didn't. Get your head back. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of dresses. I love the colour on this, and I have just a few suits left in this. Get your head out of the way now. That's the dupatta with this suit. This was an absolutely stunning suit, and I've got one of my members who's going, one of my family members who's going to Pakistan, and I want to gift it to her because it's a beautiful combination of colours. Yeah, I'm going to offer it to Shinashi. Yeah, it'll look beautiful there. Okay, so the other colours I have slight bits of variation I have in this suit available. If anybody's interested, is this one. This one is like a jacket style. What have you been doing? Putting makeup on?
Yeah.
This one's like a jacket style, and again, it's absolutely stunning. Once it's sewn, this will look amazingly pretty. Personally, if I was stitching this, what I would do is I would take away this lace, I would leave the piping on, and probably apply this on the back daman. But overall dress is so pretty, and you can sew it up into, you know, if you wanted, you could sew it up into like a kalidar panel dress. What you would do is, again, this has got full embroidery, so you would take the embroidery off, the lace off, cut that into panels, add panels on both the side, make this as the insert panel, and then join the pieces of the lace together and add it to the daman. And I'll tell you, if it was like a kurta style dress, this would make an equally pretty dress. And now this one is, I do have a picture with this one.
I want to go to Fatima's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am, but I'm going to go in the evening. It comes with a full lining. And I, will you stop popping your head in the way, please?
I'm not.
Okay, that's the, again, this is a, I think this is a Maria B, or is it Amina Hassan? I'm not sure. It's a design ZQ02. So if you're interested, I mean, these suits, I've sold these at like 35 pound a suit. They are currently going at 25 pound a suit. But it's all on first come, first serve, because I have only got limited number of suits left. The other one in this is an absolutely stunning color. This is not in the red but in the pink. Beautiful side panels, embroidered centerpiece with the neck, with the border, and plain sleeves with a bit of edging, and then embroidered, light embroidered scarf on chiffon. So that's the other. I absolutely adore this color. It's a stunningly beautiful suit. So if you're interested, do email me quickly. I'm sorry I don't get a chance to get back to everyone because I am extremely busy. So sometimes the reason why I don't reply is because most likely the suit that someone is interested in has sold out, or it is that I have been going in number order, so whoever's been ordering first, I have been dispatching the suits off to them. So anyway, I do ask for your apologies. I will try and answer all those people in queue, but it's often difficult to keep on sending photos, and photos can be deceiving. Sometimes watching a garment unraveled in front of you is different to what it may look like on the photo. So if you, these are, I highly recommend not to miss out on these few suits. There is a few others that are in similar color, but I'm not going to go into it now. It's become quite a lengthy, in-depth video, so I will, what are you trying to do? I expect to hear from you, and I will see you soon with some more fascinating, beautiful baby frocks.